Hi there, apologies for not being able to put out any videos yesterday, but I've had some technical issues with my computer which are hopefully sorted out now. So just to start off, I kind of wanted to run through what I actually made yesterday. So I did put the post up on Facebook for what I had in the morning, which was a smoothie made with a couple of handfuls of spinach, 2 bananas and some filtered water, and that, although it's really simple, is actually brilliant in terms of energy content, carbohydrate and protein as well, and then obviously you've got high nutrient value within that as well, and that will pretty much keep you going until about 11 o'clock. As I said before, on a raw food detox you are going to get really hungry, so it's important to make sure that you're eating as much fruit as possible, or as much as you need in actual fact, whenever you get hungry, but try and stick to the fruits which are high in water, so that would be things like watermelon, melon, raspberries. You can eat mangoes as well because they're kind of in between. They will kind of fill you up, but at the same time they've got high water content, because that's really good for keeping the body hydrated and just keeping you going in between meals. So at lunchtime what I had was a salad made with courgette, which has been spiralised. You can actually easily get these spiraliser machines online, and they basically will turn pretty much all vegetables into a kind of spaghetti. The best ones to use are courgette and carrot, I find. Some mixed peppers, so green, yellow and red. Some chopped raw garlic, or you can actually crush it, which is probably better. And some of these fresh raw soybeans as well, which are really delicious raw. Then what you do, you kind of lay the peppers on top of the spiralised courgette. You then need to put the beans on top, put the crushed garlic over the top and kind of mix that in, and then you'll add some of this soy sauce, naturally brewed fermented soy sauce, which I've spoken about before. This stuff is fantastic when you're on a raw food diet or a raw food detox, because there's virtually no calories in it, and you can use it pretty much with everything. And obviously there's no oil, because we want to limit our use of oil. And I did say actually when I did the last video making a salad that only use it if you really can't eat it any other way, because we need to be trying to stick to a high carbohydrate and low fat raw vegan diet on this detox. This naturally brewed soy sauce is fantastic for balancing out the hormones, and it's just really good for the body. The cheap processed soy sauce, which is about £1 for one of this size, or just over £1, is not what you want to be buying. This one is much better. It's about £2.60, £2.70, something like that, but it really is worth buying. So this brand, there's also some other brands, and you can get this in most health stores, and actually you can get it in the supermarket as well. So yeah, that was the salad, and in the evening I made this raw soup, which is really delicious as well. Basically the whole thing is made in the blender, and to feed 2 people you would use 2 avocados, a whole cucumber, some 4 cloves of garlic, a handful of coriander and some mixed peppers again, so yellow, green, red. And you put that into the blender with some filtered water. Very important to use filtered water, as I've spoken about before, because we're trying to detox, and actually just anyway because tap water contains so many toxins that it's not something that we want to be taking into the body. So you put all of that into the blender, blend it up for takes about 7 minutes, something like that, and it's absolutely delicious. And then on the top you just sprinkle some cayenne pepper, which just gives it a bit of a kick and tastes really lovely, and then you can just use some coriander leaves as a garnish as well. So I really recommend that one for an evening type thing, or you could have it at lunchtime, and that will make quite a lot. So if there's any left over, you can actually leave it in the fridge and have that the next day as well. So what I'm going to be making now is a breakfast smoothie, and this is the kind of thing that I have in the morning because it's really high energy, it tastes absolutely delicious, and you've got high carbohydrate content, and so that's going to fill you up pretty much until lunchtime. I'm trying to keep these recipes as simple as possible. Tomorrow I am going to be doing a mint choc chip smoothie, breakfast smoothie, or in fact lunchtime smoothie you could use it for, which is absolutely delicious, and we're going to use a little bit of cacao in that. Some people don't like cacao because they say that it's a stimulant, which it is because it does contain low quantities of caffeine, but my feeling is that stimulants, in, you know, as long as you're not having them too often and just occasionally, can actually help to kind of get your metabolism going and just sort of speed things up for you. So I've put 2 bananas into the blender, and with that I'm going to put 3 dates. Now you don't need too many dates because they're very, very sweet, so don't use too many. And then I'm going to use about half a glass of filtered water. Just blend that up. This will need a little bit longer than your average banana smoothie, just because of the dates, depending on what kind of quality blender you've got. This is just a cheap blender. Actually thinking about investing in a Vitamix blender or another kind of blender of that ilk, because even though they're expensive, they are fantastic, and you can make a really wide range of things like raw tahini and some amazing kind of sorbets and that sort of thing. So I'm looking into that, and I'm going to start adding those things in as well over the next few days. But as I said before, this is a kind of health detox. Well, it is a health detox, so we're not looking for really kind of fancy foods which are expensive and take a long time to make. We're looking more at simple, easy things that you can easily make at home with produce that you can easily source. So that's basically that banana and date smoothie, which is absolutely delicious. And yeah, you can drink one of these in the morning, or you could also have this as a lunchtime thing as well. So it's really great to keep you going. Just to finish off, just really to talk about why it's so important to eat a high raw diet. Basically, nutrition is, when you pick something from the grounds, it's already losing nutritional value from the moment it's picked, and actually within 48 hours it's lost up to 75% of its nutrient value, which isn't great news, which to me says it all about how really we should be living. Most of you who've seen my videos before will know that I advocate, you know, growing our own food as much as possible, and that's the kind of lifestyle that I am aiming for in the future, to be able to do that, because then you can eat live food, which basically means you pick it and then you eat it straight away. And actually half the time you don't even need to dig these plants up. You just literally leave them growing, and you take what you need and then leave the rest to grow, which is just a wonderful kind of caring way to live as well. So that's the ideal. And basically, if you then cook that on top of that, so say it's been hanging around on the shelf for a couple of days already, you cook that, you're basically removing virtually all nutritional value, unless you cook it for a very, very short time. And even then, you know, it's quite risky. So adding in as much raw produce into your diet is really important for your health, and to make sure that you're getting all the nutrition that you need. And I usually follow a raw till 4 diet, but I do spend several days a week fully raw as well, because I think that's so important. And then I regularly do these raw food detoxes as well. Anyway, I hope you found this video useful, and tomorrow I'm going to be doing a choc chip smoothie, so please check back for that. Thanks a lot.